Hey everyone, today's Bible reading devotion is found in the Gospel of John, chapter 10, verses 11 through 15. Here, John is writing about Jesus teaching about the parable of the Good Shepherd, and that Jesus himself is the Good Shepherd. And Jesus teaches that he is the Good Shepherd and that he has come to do one thing, and that is to lead himself ultimately to the cross, for him just to go as the punishment for our sin. And he says, I am the Good Shepherd, and the Good Shepherd lays down his life for who? His sheep. And I love that aspect of Jesus being the head of the church, and that he is guiding and directing us, and he loves us enough as his sheep. Even though we're stubborn, even though sometimes we want to do our own thing, he loves us enough that he laid down his life for us. He goes on to say that the hired hand who was watching over the sheep when either some sort of calamity happens or some thief comes to steal, the hired shepherd tends to just run off and leave the sheep astray. And he was referring to the religious leaders at that time who were not following God, but instead they were making up their own rules and their own regulations, and ultimately restricting people from understanding God's love and who God is and who God was and who God will continue to be. And so they were there just getting in the way and ultimately leading people away from God. They were leading people astray. And so Jesus is saying, listen, this hired hand, those who should be set up, they're just going to flee. But the Good Shepherd, he will always remain. And it goes on to say that Jesus is the Good Shepherd, and that he knows his sheep, and that his sheep know his name. And I love that aspect of just this relationship that Jesus has with us, that Jesus knows us. He knows everything about us, and that we should want to be willing and able to follow the shepherd every single time he calls us, every single time he moves us, every single time he directs us into wherever he, as a shepherd, wants us to go. But not only him, but his Father. His Father, the Trinity, we see here just the Father-Son relationship along with the Holy Spirit just moving us and directing us. And the Father knows us because of what Jesus has done. Because of Jesus' sacrifice on the cross as the Good Shepherd, it allows us to become the flock of God. And I love this aspect because this is not just Jews. This includes us Gentiles as well, that we now are in the fold of God because of what the Good Shepherd in Jesus' sacrifice has done. And Jesus is telling, and he is saying here, listen, I am the Good Shepherd. My sheep know me, they follow me, and I lay down my life for them. I want to challenge you today. How are you responding to the call of the shepherd? How are you just taking the words of Jesus and being willing to follow? Putting aside our stubbornness, putting aside our wandering off, and truly focusing on what the shepherd has for us. May we do that today. Have a wonderful day.